Hey, Dustin here. I'm going to find some rocks today at Don Robinson Park in Missouri. These are not the kind of rocks I can bring home with me. The things I'm going to show you today are features in the bedrock that I think are very interesting. I want to highly recommend this park to anybody that hasn't checked it out. If you come to Missouri, it's a beautiful park with some really cool geological features and great little hiking trails. We're going to walk the Sandstone Canyon Trail. On this trail you may experience natural surface, dirt, mud, gravel, shifting rocks, trees, nude animals, and who knows what else. Let's go check it out. Hey! So I'm not going to take this back with me, but this is a cool little rock that my son just found and pointed out. I think this is mainly just like how the water erodes the limestone and forms caves, but it also has some kind of weird tubular structures, so I don't know, it might be some kind of mineral formation too. I'm going to leave that here next to this tree. You can see all the rocks around this tree here. Like the tree roots kind of push up a lot of rocks out of the soil. And this is how I find a lot of my Drew's quartz pieces. They're always around trees like this. So I thought that would be cool to show until I can get back out to my Drewsy spot and show that off. Another thing I want to point out at this park that I think is definitely tied to the geology. I don't know if it's because of like the hills and canyons creating weird winds, or maybe if it has to do with some like geomagnetic anomaly from all the sandstone. But a lot of the trees here are really weird and twisted. So it's interesting. Definitely has something to do with the geology. And it's a cool thing about this park. So I just wanted to show this little tree here that's twisted. There's a lot of really odd growth in the trees around here. All right, we're down in the valley now looking at some of the sandstone formations. I think it's just interesting how they form. We're gonna see some really weird ones here in just a second. I'm up underneath that rock now. Wanted to show you this high quality sand. This is really cool. Very, very white sand. This is a cool little rock on the trail that's down in the creek. Has this really weird star-shaped hole in it. So I don't think it's a fossil or anything. I think it's from one of the old drills that they used in the 1920s. Let's see if I can get in there. Oh yeah, there you can see it. It's kind of like almost rifled out, like it spirals around. I think it's from one of the old drills that got off kilter and kind of vibrated like a spirograph. It's a cool rock. Interesting thing you can see on the trail here. I think there's a lot of evidence in this park of the giant floods at the end of the last ice age. Look at this scour hole here. No way that little creek carved out that big scour hole. I think that was some big flood event long ago. So down in the canyon here, this is a sandstone canyon. It's on this trail here. I think it's pretty cool, very interesting feature. And in my opinion, there's no way that this tiny little stream at the bottom is what carved this out. I think this was carved out at the end of the last ice age in some of the massive floods. I know there's evidence of like massive flooding, I think in Idaho in the Scablands, but I think there's a lot of evidence for it in the Missouri Ozarks as well. So my wife just added, she doesn't want to be on camera to say it though, that it's important to note that this area at the end of the last ice age was right on the edge of the ice sheet. So any melt of that ice sheet would have been a big melt in this area. Something crazy to think about too. This all used to be subglacial tundra. Yeah, so I know accepted geological theory says that, oh, this little stream carved this out slowly over time, over the centuries. But, I mean, look, there's not even water in it right now. So, more evidence of that big flood here. This flows into the big canyon I just showed. Got some people chilling in some hammocks here, good times. Some more of those giant scour features in that canyon. I mean, look at that. Look at that giant cliff. You telling me that little creek carved that out? That water is about 3 inches deep. No way. Cool spot at the park here. I'm gonna walk up here with the camera and see if you can get a little more appreciation of exactly how steep these cliffs are. It's kind of hard to see in the video. It just, you know, looks like it looks steep, but I feel like it's misleading in the video. You don't see how really steep it is. And it's a straight cliff down there. It's actually undercut. Like I'm on a little bit of a ledge right now, overhanging. Plus I'm kind of a nut. I just think this park has lots of really pretty moss on these rocks. There's my elusive family. They're part Sasquatch. You rarely get them on film. So don't forget to look down while you're here, while you're looking at all the big geology features. I just think there's lots of really cool moss at this park. It's just like a little world in there. It's like little pine trees and ferns. Almost imagine a little stegosaurus walking through there. All right. Well, I thought we weren't going to find any rocks, but my son found one. What'd you find there, Cash?
Calcite.
Yeah, nice little cleaved piece of calcite. Check this out. Found this cool fossil next to the trail. If you're a rock hound, always look around trees in Missouri because the roots push up cool stuff. So these are some really weird features next to the trail that I wanted to show everybody. This is not stalactites. This is definitely sandstone. Probably very high quartz content sandstone. I'm sure if you looked at any of the individual little sand grains, they would be almost clear, tumbled pieces of quartz, basically. And this is just bizarre. Probably just some kind of natural formation, but one of the wilder ideas that I've had is that maybe it's being carved out by mushroom mycelium. Like the mushrooms are part of some great super mushroom consciousness, and they're tuning and carving the earth, making it resonant, affecting the magnetic fields. Or it may just be a weird feature. Who knows, but it's very cool. And get in on some of this here. I just think this is bizarre. What is going on with the sandstone bedrock here? You can see lots of weird features in like other sandstone outcrops in Missouri. There's a park I've been to in Illinois called Giant City. It has weird stuff going on with the sandstone. I just think this is very interesting. Definitely something worth checking out if you come on this trail. More evidence of that scour erosion from some kind of massive flooding. You can see two different layers here. And I don't know, I just have difficulty believing that tiny little creek way down there carved that out. Maybe, but I don't think so. Here, you can see it sparkling a little bit. Looking at a big piece of sandstone here. Look at all that sparkle. That's why I think it has very high quartz content. And that's why I think there's a chance that maybe it could be doing something weird with the geomagnetic energy here affecting the plant growth. More cool sandstone features. Almost looks like cave features. My elusive child, always photobombing. Yeah, there you go.
This is a snake.
Definitely some very high quartz content sandstone here. You can see it kind of sparkling in there in the sun. So I know the idea that a mushroom mycelium super consciousness carving out the rocks is ridiculous, but just look at that. That's how I came up with the idea. Looks like a mushroom to me. I don't know, whatever it is, interesting geological features. Here we are on the trail here, just past those weird kind of mushroom looking rocks. And to me, this looks like a bluff. I look at it and I'm like, where's the river or creek that scoured that out? Well, it's just not here. There's this tiny, tiny little creek way down the hill there. So, I don't know, maybe just a long time ago there was a river here and it shifted. Or maybe that's evidence of that cataclysmic flooding at the end of the last ice age. Who knows? It's cool though. So my son pointed this out. There's tree roots growing in there. Maybe the trees have something to do with carving out the weird structure in the sandstone. You can see they're definitely doing something to erode it here. It's eroding the sand. I was hoping it'd sparkle in the sun, but you'll just have to take my word for it. The sand here is super sparkly. Here's some more of those weird looking, almost look like cave structures. Looks like something you might see in limestone, but I can assure you this is very much sandstone. Very interesting features here. I just wonder how they formed. And last but certainly not least of the cool geological features here at Don Robinson, natural bridge. You can walk across that. It's totally flat on top. Really cool. Almost like Mother Nature and the highway department got together to create it. Cool geological feature and more evidence, in my opinion, that there was some big flooding here at one time. Pretty moss and ferns. And another one of those scour features. This is just uphill from that natural bridge. You can see more of those weird kind of, I don't know, whatever those structures are. Yeah. Yeah, they're not though. They're not soda straws. I don't know what they are. They're cool. I think the mushrooms made them, the great mushroom spirit. So, that's the geological oddities of Canyon Trail at Don Robinson Park. Almost back to the car. Just thought I'd show you again some of the weird looking trees on top of the hill. Whether it's the wind or the magnetism of the area, something about the geology is affecting these trees. I think it's cool. There it is. One of those nude animals that I warned you about. He's a snake. It is November 12th today in Missouri. You better get back to your burrow, little guy. So that's it, guys, for this one. Highly recommend you come out and check out Don Robinson Park. It's a cool park. Something for everybody here. We passed a lot of people on the trail. I just passed a gentleman with his walker wearing his World War II hat. So even if you're handicapped, they got cool paved access here. It's a great park and some really cool stuff to check out here. So until my next rock adventure,